Cut me some fucking slack, I made a mistake. I then did something absolutely disgusting in this video. I body shamed Ryan. I made fun of the fact that his last name is Beard and he doesn't have a beard because he is a little sissy. Allegedly. This was his response.
Me not being able to grow a beard says that I have a hormone deficiency, Isaac.
This is Ryan Beard, brought to you by estrogen. Very
I
good.
struggle to grow hair on my face and on my forehead, and it seems like you only struggle to grow hair on your forehead. So.
Not funny. Can I just say that that is not a real photo? That photo was made in a bald filter. I made that photo and I posted it on Instagram like a fucking idiot. All right. It was another one of these photos that does the rounds. That when I got cancelled for the whole
All right, and the video stopped. I wonder why. But yeah, I apparently the stream missed some stuff.
Christchurch massacre joke that I'm sure Ryan actually messaged me, he said he's a fan of that one. A lot of the really negative, angry articles were written about me. That was the photo that they used. I had hair then. It was very hard to deal with. People thought I was racist and bald. I wasn't bald.
I guess you have me beat there. 1 point to Isaac. Just happened to be born with the last name Beard. So
It's a good last name.
if you want someone to criticize my British ancestors.
I will. You do that enough. I bet you just fucking whip yourself when you're jerking off going, I hate my ancestors. He does seem like someone who would, be really angry at his ancestors and probably, accept blame for horrible things that his ancestors did. Anyway, whatever. Good on him. Congratulations, Ryan. I'm glad you've got a hobby.
No, Isaac, I don't whip myself when I'm jerking off. I choke myself when I'm jerking off.
And this will be seen on our OnlyFans when we start streaming it. Very good.
Recently, I've been trying to become a more well-rounded person, and one of the ways I've been trying to do this is by learning more about things that I find interesting, but I just haven't taken the time to learn about in the past.
Yeah, it is a bit of shaming there. So what I'll suggest to you, Ryan, is rather than having your partner grab you by the ponytail while she pegs you, get her to wrap something around that would actually initiate the choking process. Not choking like to death, but I just want to make that clear for YouTube. But choking a little. Some people like to choke when they're doing the deed. That's great. Well done. There is nuance to that because saying offensive jokes to be offensive can be very, very funny if it's particularly offensive and funny at the same time. Great point, Isaac. I think a lot of people do say edgy as in like it's something you could say to someone if you deem them as right-wing, or they make jokes about trans people or gay people or not white people or anything like that. Any of the taboo subjects, you would call them an edgy comedian, and you say that as you say it in a derogatory sense.
No, when I say edgy, there's no negative connotation to that. Some of my favorite comedians are edgy.
I doubt that. I doubt that highly. What does edgy mean? I guess it depends on who you are. So maybe he's in his own sense, and under his own definition, maybe he is right.
Eric Andre is one of my favorite comedians.
You ever bone your grandma to death? Talk about going out with a bang, people. This ain't your mama's monologue.
I mean, it's not my style of comedy, but sure. Good stuff, mate.
But I just don't find your edgy comedy funny because I feel like you go for low-hanging fruit a lot. And I do think that sometimes you use your comedy as a mask.
I don't know. I think you would enjoy my show if you came and watched it live. I think you would. Now, Ryan went on about edgy comedians, and then I said something that actually really got under his skin. I said he's not a comedian. And it was surprising because he stayed calm and cool throughout this entire thing. It really pissed him off. Yeah, but you're not a comedian, so shut the fuck up.
Not a comedian. I started my fucking career getting X'd by Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent as a comedian. And then I did Unmotivational Monday on TikTok as a comedian. Do your fucking research, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just think there's a difference. It's like a spectrum, right, of comedians, like autism. I'm sure you can relate. Some people make comedy videos on TikTok or go on America's Got Talent 10 years ago, and others do live shows. They do specials. They, sell tickets. Just a spectrum. That's all I'm saying.
I probably haven't done as much live comedy as this dude.
I guarantee you haven't. The biggest tour I ever done was over 90 shows in 4 different countries over a year and a bit. Now, I know that's not even that many. That's not even that many in comparison to other comedians out there. But I've been doing stand-up for 10 years, gigging constantly and consistently. So you can just suck a fat one on that, may I say.
Improv comedy live.
Mate, improv comedy is a cancer on society, all right? I guarantee you, everything, every thought you have about comedy makes me ill, makes people who genuinely enjoy laughing and laughing at fun things. What Ryan's saying here, this shit is akin to an OnlyFans girl suggesting that they make online content. No, you film yourself getting fucked, all right? That's not content. That's getting fucked. This isn't comedy. You can go and get fucked.
And I obviously am a comedian. I do comedic songs all the time.
Obviously, you're a comedian. I stand corrected.
I don't need to defend whether or not I'm a comedian to this dude. And
Yes, you do. Yes, you fucking do. I actually would like to go back on what I just said only a few moments ago. Ryan can call himself a comedian if he fucking wants to. It's not going to fucking... It matters not to me, really, does it? Even though I think his comedy would probably be very, very shit, that's fine. Comedy, of course, is subjective. It's like music. Some people like, little folk songs they can dance around to when they have their little ayahuasca sessions. And other people like fucking heavy metal. There's different strokes for different folks. But I guarantee you he'd be very shit.
then why are you always giving your opinions on women and fat people if you're not a woman and you're not fat?
Because gender's not real, dickhead.
Seems like a bit of a logical contradiction there, Isaac.
Skip.
I agree with me here. Skip. This video goes for another 25 minutes. I can't. I've been recording for a year. I cannot expose you all to this. It's too much. Let's skip forward and try and see if there's anything of substance in this video.
You like when people cancel you because when people cancel you, it helps you sell more tickets. You've said this.
It's very true.
That's true amongst many different comedians all over the world. Every time they cancelled or people try to shut them down, they sell more tickets.
This is why I said that comedians like you get turned on when you call them racist, bigoted, whatever.
I don't think I get turned on when people call me a racist.
Because that's your whole marketing tactic is that you want people to think, oh,
It also works.
Is it a grift or is it just that's genuinely what I enjoy doing? I genuinely enjoy making offensive jokes. I like covering taboo subjects. That's how my brain works. When I think of something that's outrageous and I write it down and then I perform it on stage, it's not a grift. It's not I'm doing this sort of, I'm only doing it to make money and I'm going to go against everything I actually believe in my brain and I'm just going to do it to make money. No, I just think it's funny and that's why I say it. There's no higher meaning to it all. There's no sort of things going on in the background. There's no evil cabal inside my brain. It's just me saying shit. That's all.
He's not afraid to say what everyone else is afraid to say. He's not afraid to make a joke about Muslim people dying. Ooh.
I should have him promote my shows. It's actually really good. Well done.
Isaac Butterfield is an Australian comedian. He's not afraid to say what everyone else is afraid to say. He's not afraid to make a joke about Muslim people dying. Ooh. Okay, that was pretty funny.
I made Ryan laugh. Congratulations, me. I have done it. I have won. Fuck you, mate. I fucking win. Eat my ass. Too sexual in this video. I will retract that last statement. My apologies.
I have been told so many times that I'm going to be killed.
But do you not understand that
Hey, don't you defend the death threaters? How dare you?
that seemed edited in a strange way? I'm gonna go back to the original video and see if I actually did defend the death threaters.
That I'm going to be killed.
But do you not understand that, I understand that you get death threats from the things you say. Everyone on the internet gets death threats. I think death threats are horrible. No one should ever send anyone death threats. I get death threats, he gets death threats, everyone does. But I just don't understand why he can sit here and be like, oh, there are negative repercussions to being canceled, but then he refuses to acknowledge any of the negative repercussions that can be spread through messages like saying that women's body hair is disgusting. That is some incredibly fucking dishonest editing, Isaac. I clearly said in the video that you're responding to that death threats are horrible and that they are never justified. But I just don't understand the point that I made is that if you realize how terrible death threats are because you get them, then you should also realize how horrible it is for the people who get death threats because of the videos you make about them.
If I make a video about someone and someone sends them a death threat, even though I say in a lot of videos, do not message this person, and that goes for everything I do. Don't message anyone. Don't be a fucking dickhead. It's the same people. It's the crazy people. It's the people you can't control. I'm sure people in your audience do it too.
But you just dishonestly edited me to make it look like I justified death threats. That is not fucking okay. This is the first time I've been legitimately upset in this video. Because falsely claiming that I defend death threats to your audience of 2 million people has actual negative repercussions. Oh, but I forgot, you always stick to the facts, right? Fuck you, dude.
Okay, let's go back and see what happened there, because obviously he's getting very, very upset. Let's actually listen to it and see where I allegedly deceptively edited his statement. I have been told so many times that I'm going to be killed.
But do you not understand that, like,
hey, don't you defend the death threaters? How dare you? I just stopped the I paused it. I pressed pause and then I talked about it. I didn't say that you did. I said don't. Details matter, dude. Like, I'm not saying that you did. I'm saying don't. I was like, oh my God, it was a reaction. I was reacting to what you're saying. Calm down. It's okay. All right? No one's suggesting that you, and I'd like to apologize to the great man, Ryan Beard, for daring to, even in a tiny little way, insinuate that, even though I don't believe it, even in a tiny way. I would like to apologise to Ryan. I was merely reacting to the fact that you stepped in to say something and I was saying, don't say that. And you didn't say that. So well done. You didn't threaters. Good boy. I'm glad you didn't do that. All right, we then get into the conversation about female body hair. Again, I can't believe we're still going through this. Ryan, it's gross. Who cares? One of the things that was really quite evident throughout the rest of this video, and I'll play a little more if I can find anything interesting, is that Ryan still can't seem to comprehend that I make these videos, whatever video I post, and I don't live by everything that I say in those videos. He consistently calls me a hypocrite and say that I've been hypocritical about this, that, and the other, and then says, but you don't care, do you? Because you're just doing it to make money. You've openly admitted that. And like, yeah, I have. But that's not every video. Some videos I do give a shit about. I think that Ryan lives in a very literal world where everything that he says or anyone around him says has to be literal, and can't live in a world where people say and do things differently by the day. What I mean by that, because I've confused myself, is this. Sometimes I talk shit, sometimes I'm real, sometimes I'm joking, sometimes I'm serious, sometimes I'm somewhere in the middle. And it's up to you as someone who understands human beings, not just Ryan, but everyone watching, to make that decision for yourself. And if you can't make that decision, if you can't understand that, then that's fine. Obviously, you are somewhere on the spectrum and you're having a tough time dealing with, you know, the ins and outs of society. I am not a politician. I am not a CEO of a major company. I don't need anyone's permission to make a video where I talk mad shit and then in the next video I'm serious about something, where I make fun of someone who's rubbing their stomach and saying fat is beautiful, and then in the next video I'm like, hey, we should respect these people, but here's what they need to do to get fitter. There's a difference between those videos, obviously, and I would have thought that that was pretty obvious for anybody watching. But apparently not. Apparently people are in so much cognitive decline that they have to have things spelt out for them.
That you don't have core values, you cop out by saying that the person you play on YouTube is a character. This
Sometimes
has been
a character.
one of my main criticisms.
When I'm screaming about hairy underarms, do you think I really give a fuck? I think they're a bit gross, but I don't need to scream about it.
If you just want to be an outrageous dude who says outrageous shit, then just be like Eric Andre. But if you want to go on YouTube and make political arguments that actually have impacts on people's lives, then you need to take it somewhat seriously, my dude.
And I do take those videos seriously. That's why I'm speaking in a serious tone in some of those videos. And then I might do a bit of yelling or carry on or make a joke or whatever, but that's all a part of it, Ryan. Fuck, man. You know this. You know this. Why are we having this argument, dude?
I'm sure we could sit down and have a conversation and we would agree on a lot of things. My personal trainer is an Australian centrist gym bro who kind of reminds me of Isaac in a lot of ways.
Your personal trainer? What the fuck has that got to do with anything? I think we should sit down. I think we should have a conversation, Ryan. This is my open invitation to you. Your personal trainer does look a little bit like me, and we've been talking about this whole strange sexual energy that we've had for some time. I'm not saying you're getting fucked by your personal trainer, Ryan, but what I am saying is I don't have any evidence to suggest that it's not happening. I don't give a shit.
Thank you all for enduring this like 4-video inception. I also plan to never respond to Isaac again.
I think you will. I will say this. You started this. I needed to make a video to finish it. I'm happy to call it there. Are we all happy with that, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section? Are we happy to call it there? I would like to declare, obviously, me the winner by unanimous decision, but Ryan, certainly, he was in there. He was in the fight for some time. Good on you, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. Ryan actually went on in the video and found another video that I made about him, but that is the end of the series. I think if there's ever another video, it should be both of us in the same room, Ryan. So I don't know where you live. Apparently you live in Australia, which makes me physically ill. But I will happily sit down with you and we can talk about more contentious topics that happen in the world and see if we do really align with a lot of our views. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Mick stinks. Toodaloo au revoir. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks for freezing, game. That's great. Oh my god, I should just take the nether portal. I'll definitely prune chunks. Probably in the later version, so I don't have to travel 1,000,000 blocks for some cherry blossoms. Keep like full terrain, probably like 2,000 block radius. I'll keep all that. Just wipe everything else. I think after GEITEV, like, probably not immediately after I finish it, like, I'm not gonna put, like, the last thing in the chest and just, like, alright, we're done. I might do some other builds, but sometime after GEITEV, I want to do a speed GEITEV, you know? Like, literally, like, my one goal is just to get all the items.
G'day, ladies and gentlemen, the Buttsman here. Hope
like,
you're doing well. Now, as I like to do every month, I like to have a look at all of the woke people on TikTok and just really dissect what makes them tick. Have a look at what they're posting and think to myself, my God, I could be swarmed with all of the mental illness and I wouldn't be that insane. And today is no different. The lineup of videos I've got for us today that I have discovered on TikTok will make your skin crawl. That is my promise to you. Let's jump into it, shall we?
Why am I both extremely straight and also extremely queer? Here we go. I am pangender and pansexual.
Can you imagine being these people?
I like a tiny bit of design.
What do you mean these people, Isaac? I mean these people. This is not someone who lives in reality. This is not someone who remembers to take their bins out. This isn't someone who puts the dishes away. This is a crazy person.
So I use all pronouns because I am non-binary.
So you use, hang on, so fucking,
this is less about
let's say her name is Katie. Katie is coming over. He is going to bring biscuits. She loves biscuits. They, them, really enjoys biscuits. Pick a fucking pronoun. Just pick one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Just pick one.
But I also do not feel a like strong connection to any of the genders. But
let me break your heart. You're a woman.
But also I don't feel like a strong ew, I hate it to any of the genders.
Why do people in these woke communities dye their hair a certain way? I'd love to see, you know, a peer-reviewed study on what goes through someone's mind prior to dyeing their hair. I imagine a lot of it is it sounds something like this.
I'll just do things to
So if you call me ma'am, I will punch you. But if I am all genders, that means I'm always straight in a relationship. But it also means I am always super fucking queer.
So if you're having sexual intercourse with a man with his penis in your vagina, that's a gay thing for you to do. Okay. Cool.
It works every way. I am, at the same time, extremely queer and extremely straight.
You need a hobby extremely fast because this is just super retarded. But before we go any further, this video is sponsored by the great people at Aura. Are you tired of constantly receiving spam calls? I know I am. It's at the point now where I don't even answer the phone. I cannot deal with it. Well, there are data brokers out there who are making a fortune by selling your information online. Robocallers and spammers and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your information, submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and brokers are legally required to remove your information when they ask you. But who knows who has this information? I'll tell you who does. Aura does. It is super simple to set up. You don't have to download several different apps to get the things that you need, like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. Let Aura do the hard work and keep you safe online so you can focus on the more important things. But I'll leave it up to you. You can either continue to let people exploit your private information online, or you can go to aura.com/Isaac Butterfield to start your free trial today, ladies and gentlemen. They're absolute legends there, so go and check them out, and thank you very much to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now, back to the video.
Just a reminder that being non-binary is going to look different for every non-binary person.
Being non-binary is not a thing.
I'm non-binary. I use they, them pronouns.
No one cares.
Do I like being called girl? No.
No one cares.
Do I like being called she, her? Not really.
No one cares.
Do I want to be called girlfriend? Yes. Do I want to be a mom? Absolutely.
How can you be a mum when that's a female thing? But you don't want to be called she.
But when I'm older, do I want to be a grandpa? Yes.
What does that even mean? You don't want to be a she, you don't want to be a her, but you want to be a mother, but you don't want to be a grandmother, you want to be a grandfather. In what universe is this kind of shit even slightly respectable? It's just not. We are wading into World War III, and this is the generation that will defend all of us. That should terrify us all. If these are the people who are defending the West, I just want to put it out there that I've always been a huge fan of Vladimir Putin. I am a Vladimir guy, big fan, and I wear your merch. Just you're an absolute top bloke. Jetzt bleu bleu. Vladimir, let's bleu bleu. It means I love you. I love you. Point being, we're fucked.
It's that thing you experience as a trans person when the person, usually like, you know, you're getting food or you're at a store or whatever, people, rather than be directly transphobic to you, they just kind of ignore you and do the absolute bare minimum. So we're going to talk about that and how to deal with it.
I think they're doing that because they feel a bit awkward because it's a dude in a dress, and that's fine if you want to do that. Like this is the thing with all of this. You have every right within yourself, and you should always have this right to dress how you want, be who you want, all that type of stuff. But you can't demand that people respect you or people act in a certain way that you want them to. That's just not reality. It's just not, and it's never going to be like that. It's not going to be like that, and that's a shame for you, but that is your life, mate. We all have different things that happen to us, or people look at us in certain ways because of the way we look. People might avoid eye contact with you because you're 6'8", wearing a dress and you have a beard. I get people who always check out my hot ass. This is just what we have to deal with, mate.
In a lot of ways, the biggest harm someone can do is just to pretend like you don't exist. Because what they're really saying...
I feel like you're just too concerned about other people. Just fucking exist, just do you, just do your thing. And who gives a shit if a fucking barista doesn't look at you in the eyes? Who cares?
Saying in those instances is you don't exist to them.
It's a barista. Who gives a fuck, mate? Hey, we have to read this. Men will say women and men are already equal. I would say that. From the table at Christmas lunch, while all the women are in the kitchen cleaning up the meal they planned, prepared, and executed to perfection after buying, wrapping, and signing gifts from Santa and Dad without even a thanks. That's not men doing that. That's shitty people. That's shitty people in your shitty family. And if the dudes in your family don't do that, well, that's on them. All right? And it's us as men to make sure that we are doing shit like that. And ladies, also, when we're getting ready for Christmas and it's 40 fucking degrees outside, blistering hot, and we have to mow the lawn, why don't you get out there with the whippersnipper, you lazy. That was a bit rude. I'm going to get some heat off my own family for that, but, you know, fuck you. Whoa, everybody just relax. What's going on here? Friendly reminder, you don't owe anyone thinness this festive season or any season. So we've got an overweight woman showing that she doesn't owe anyone thinness. Yeah, you don't owe anyone anything. But why put it on the internet? And then you look at the comments. Thank you. Clap your hands. This is my favourite though. You owe us an apology though. Why would you post this? This is the thing, ladies. You are the only ones who do this shit. Like, dudes don't do this. A dude would never post anything like that because all of his friends would look at him and say, you are a fucking cockhead. You are a cockhead. What the fuck? Put your fat guts away. No one wants to see that shit. You can only put stuff on the internet, shirt off, pants off, whatever, if you're looking good. All right? Hence why I don't fucking do it. I train every day, I eat very well, all that type of shit, and I still look like shit. Alright, and I'm not going to put you poor people through looking at my fucking childbearing hips on the internet. I'm not going to do it. Then I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, I look good. I look fucking... No. Fuck off. Put your jiggly bits away and kindly fuck you to the moon.
Did you know that over 600 people have already bought their tickets to the Marxism conference this Easter in Melbourne?
The Marxism conference? Yes, to a Marxist conference.
If you hate capitalism and you want to fight back, you have to join them as well.
If you hate capitalism and you want to fight back, send us some money and buy some tickets. You fucking hypocritical dumb.
Marxism 2024 will bring together the left for 3 full days.
Bring together the left. Fuck, I hope you got enough tampons in the men's toilets, you fucking wankers.
Discussions and debate. We've got so many sessions.
All the blokes will be syncing up periods. It'll be a real...
You're going to have a hard time choosing which ones to go to. Are you brand new to socialism?
Are you brand new to socialism? Have you just started university? Well, come on in.
We've got introductory workshops where you can learn the basics. We're going to delve into the hidden stories.
I hope this is one of the hidden stories. Mass killings under communist regimes. 94 million people died. I wonder what day that's on. I wonder if that's covered in the first day.
History's most radical and inspiring struggles.
94 million people.
From the students who helped to end the imperialist war in Vietnam.
To the 94 million people dying under communist regimes.
To the workers' movement, which fought around the world.
Maybe they're leaving this one out.
To bring down apartheid in South Africa.
Oh, maybe they're leaving it out of this conference.
We've also got sessions on the fight against racism, against sexism, against queer oppression, against imperialism.
This sounds like the best fucking days of anyone's life to go to this Marxism conference. I cannot wait. I'm going to go and I'm going to have the best time. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy myself. And I tell you what, I'm just going to thoroughly enjoy being around the most weak, heinous individuals of all time. Society's most hated creatures. The fucking Marxists, the socialists, the communists. Fuck you all to the moon. Oh my God, you cock smokers.
And the threat of nuclear war. You don't want to miss out on this.
Yeah, don't want to miss out on this. I've had a look at something on their website which will make you all laugh. Just bear with me.
Easter weekend 2024. Grab a ticket as soon as you can.
$15 off. Weekend tickets. Use code MARX24.
And make sure you join over
all the masks in there, you fucking wankers.
1,000 other radicals from around Australia.
1,000 other radicals. 1,000 other radical wankers. Okay, let's have a look at their website. So this is the upcoming skyrocketing inequality and unaffordable housing, wildfires, floods, and other climate chaos. The growth of a racist, sexist, transphobic far right. I hope they have a fucking segment on me.
There's just some of the crises that ordinary people face under capitalism today. Fucking suck my cock. The system is rigged for the rich and powerful. No, I don't disagree with that. And desperately need an alternative. Yeah, this is going to work out. This is really going to... The tickets. Ooh. If you're in high school, $60 for the full weekend. If you're unwaged... Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God. This is 2024. I'll get back to the unwaged. This is a COVID-safe event. For the safety of all, conference attendees will be required to wear N95 masks throughout. 2024. You fucking... I can't say anything negative about it on YouTube, but... Unwaged, $100. If you're unemployed, if you can't get a job, if you're unless you can't do it physically, then fair enough. But if you can't get a job because you're unemployed because you're a fucking loser, that's exactly who is going to this fucking conference. Absolute fucking losers. All right, who's going? Jeremy Small, never heard of you. Corey Oakley, never heard of you. Kim Bullymore, never heard of you. Liz Walsh. So you got no one. You've got absolutely no one. Raquel Valeray. History of the Portuguese Revolution. Fucking sign me up for that. Kevin Lin, activist and researcher on China's labour movement. Probably interesting.
Yeah, I think that's
Hang on.
first
China's a communist country. Have you not heard of the fucking... Whatever. Look at this bloke. Rick Cunt. Marxist economist and socialist activist. Oh, shoot me now. Okay, I'm a little bit worked up. Let's calm it down and go over to somewhere that's definitely not a communist country, Canada.
My name is Kim Pate. I'm a senator from here in the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe.
The unceded territory of your Indigenous population. If you feel so bad about it, you deed to your house, old love, give it to them. Give it to them. It's not yours. Why do you have it? Why can you live there? You should be paying them.
It is my privilege, honor, and responsibility to be the sponsor of Bill S-233, which we've just commenced study of in the Senate Standing Committee on Finance. The bill would introduce a framework to develop a guaranteed livable basic income. We are struggling.
Right, so this is universal basic income, and they're talking about this in Canada. And the problem with universal basic income, I thought it was a good thing until the COVID times when everyone was getting money, particularly here in Australia. We all just got paid. People didn't want to go back to work. People weren't doing anything. They were just sitting there doing fuck all. Sweet fuck all. And that is what I think will happen under any type of universal basic income. People will sit there and do nothing because they're guaranteed a wage. Why would they? Why would they go and do something? Why would they go and work? They don't have to. Things stop happening. Things stop getting built. Roads fucking fall apart. That is the problem with universal basic income. That's the problem with communism in its essence. It's nice in theory, but in practice, when you actually utilize human beings in these theories, problems occur because we are a flawed species. And that's the honest truth about it. That is it. I believe in communism in one part of modern society, and that is Medicare, or Medicaid, or medical treatment. I think all people should have access to medical treatment, regardless of how much money you have. And I'm talking about necessary medical treatments. I'm not talking about fucking lopping things off that you don't need to be lopped off. I'm talking about necessary things. I think that's important. And it's fine to pick and choose things from capitalism, things from communism, Marxism, whatever. We should pick the best things. But universal basic income, it ain't it, sister, all right? So go back to apologising to the local Indigenous population and then not giving them back their land that your house sits on.
Did somebody say slave?
This is from Delta Airlines. And Delta is an American airline. They're very prolific over in the States. This is from Delta Airlines. And Delta is an American airline. They're very prolific over in the States. And they are right here showing how many amazingly diverse employees they have. And they're really, really showcasing how important it is to hire people on what genitals they have, what skin colour they are, what their sexual preference is, over whether or not someone's actually good at their job. Now, this all comes off the back of something that's very popular right now. It's called diversity, equality, and inclusivity. DEI is a buzzword amongst corporate America, Australia, the UK, anywhere in the Western world where people are trying to show how woke they are. DEI is important. Now, as you can see here on Business Insider, right-wing commentators have a theory about plane safety concerns, and they say diversity is to blame. But here's the thing, ladies and gents, you may be aware of several aeroplane incidents that have happened over the past couple of months, and then you go and look at these places where either there's been loose bolts or a wheel fucking fall off or anything's happened, and you look at these companies and DEI, diversity, inclusivity, and equality, and fucking all that shit, that's the most important talking point in their corporate lingo. They're not worried so much about, hey, listen, let's just get the best fucking engineer on the job. If he's a white man, then so be it. No. They're more concerned with how they look on left-wing fucking Reddit than whether or not people live or die. Now, I'm not particularly suggesting that Delta's doing this. I'm talking about other airlines, of course. My point is, who gives a fuck who you're hiring as long as they're good at their job? The big one was Boeing, and even Elon Musk talked about this on X or Twitter. He said, do you want to fly in an airplane where they're prioritized DEI hiring over your safety? That is actually happening. Now, here's Boeing's diversity guidelines. So as far as the things that they're concerned about at Boeing, it's product safety, that's important. Employee safety, that's important. Quality, climate, okay, you're fucking flying planes through the sky, so I guarantee you don't give a fuck about the climate. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is the fourth thing that they're concerned about. I guarantee you, every one of their shareholders doesn't give a fuck, and they just put that there because they are trying to, I don't know, appear woke. This is what this fucking bullshit does to companies. They have to pretend that they give a shit. They don't give a shit at all. They're there to make money. And if you don't understand that, if you're in these woke fields and you don't get that, you are the dumbest alive. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing. It's a fucking fantastic place to be. If you didn't like it, suck me fucking off. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. And I'm going on tour across Australia, America, Canada, and the UK. So head to isaacbutterfield.com/2024 and sign up for tickets. It doesn't cost you anything. It just means you get an email when the tickets are released. How good is that? Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye. Toodaloo. Au revoir. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this fantastic video by me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some very important news. I am going on a world tour in 2024. If you are in the USA, the UK, Australia, or New Zealand, or any other part of the world, make sure you sign up for tickets at isaacbutterfield.com, and as soon as they become available, you will get an email. You'll be able to get them straight away, and you won't miss out. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Once again, see you next time. Bye.
Rosebush. Correct. Sunflower. Correct. Orange, pink, red, and white tulip. Orange, pink, there's a slight no difference.
G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another one of these videos that makes you want to bang your head against a wall. Now, if you missed it, I uploaded a video just the other day explaining why I'm being taken in front of the Human Rights Commission here in Australia, the Queensland branch of that Human Rights Commission. It's because of a joke, so you should go check that out. And if you do enjoy the channel, then guess what? You can support it by basically doing what everyone else has been trying to do for a while and cancelling me, all right? This t-shirt, look at that. It's beautiful. Anyway, in today's video, we are looking at some of the worst TikToks known to man, and we've done this several times before, about 400 times before, and every single time, I see things that I never thought I'd see before. So let's jump straight into it.
Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us.
I saw this. This is what Dylan Mulvaney did to basically try and fuck. Well, not she didn't try and do it to fuck, but Bud Light decided
the beer brand, that it would be a great idea to have Dylan Mulvaney, a trans woman who is taking the fucking TikTok world by storm. Massive brand deals, millions of dollars, making a fortune from becoming a woman over the past year. For some reason, Bud Light gets involved. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I don't know how they sat down at their table, their big fucking oak table, and thought, you know what we need to really boost the sales in 2023? Trans people drinking these beers. Trans people don't drink beer. They drink fruity drinks and gin and tonic, and that's fucking it. So yeah, Dylan Mulvaney has the Bud Light, and then they lose a fucking fortune.
This thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month.
I wonder how much Dylan Mulvaney makes per brand deal. This is from the Daily Mail, so $1 million a year, $100,000 each month for showcasing brands and hugely popular Days of Girlhood series. Okay, so they're paying maybe $25,000 to $50,000 per showing of the thing. And as you can see here, it's literally just the Dylan. Just look at what he's wearing, fuck ya. That is fucking, that looks like you've gone to fucking Big W or Target and picked out like little girl fucking things. Back to Bud Light.
This month I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it.
How did you think that was a good idea, Bud Light? What the fuck's wrong with you? Go woke, go broke. Fuck Bud Light. That's fucking ridiculous. What goes through your mind?
Female body hair is disgusting.
Female body hair, I did say that in a TikTok a long time ago. And basically the whole point of the TikTok was to say this, that female body hair is disgusting if you let it grow out to, you know, proportions that look like a hairy fucking ape. All right, that's all I was saying. And this lady has decided to make a video. And the video itself has got 85,000 likes. Holy shit, that's not good. All right.
Body hair repels and men like this. Don't shave your Gucci, don't shave your pit. If you want to avoid a piece of shit, go full gorilla legs like carpet. Show dominance with your full mustache. Don't be afraid to shake your ass. Maybe he is vaxxed and waxed, but chaw, he's got a dirty ass crack.
Vaxxed and waxed. I didn't fucking... did it, babe. Okay, yeah, very catchy. Well done, Big Merla, you big old bitch. Yeah, it's actually quite catchy. Well done.
Why do you care about female body hair?
Because it's gross.
We all know that you are not going down there.
Not if it's gross. Who am I kidding? Dudes will fucking go down on anything. They don't give a shit if it looks like fucking Bigfoot's asshole. They do not care. This is the thing, ladies. You can look like shit. You can grow body hair. Dudes don't care. We are really, really nice. When you get down to the crux of it, we will fuck ya. Even if we think you're gross, it's just something to do. So stick that up, you fucking dirtbox Big Merla, you big old bastard.
Y'all always got something to be mad at. I see no good reason why an actor of any race can't play any historical figure.
Twitter account actually posted this called End Wokeness. Now, this is about the consistent thing that we see on Netflix and other streaming services where people play certain characters, right, who are different skin colors to the actors themselves. Now, throughout time, people have done this who are white, and people get really upset about that. But now, a lot of people who are not white are playing white characters, and people are like, okay, right, fine, but also, you're doing this for a particular reason. You're trying to show how woke you are. You're trying to show how progressive you are. You are virtue signaling. That is what you're doing. You're not doing this because you like the actor, so to speak. You're just doing it to show how amazingly perfect and wonderfully progressive and woke you are. And that's not a good thing. That's not a reason to be chosen in a particular TV show or movie. How can you feel good about yourself if that's the only reason you've been chosen? Because you fill a quota.
Figure. It's acting. Queen Charlotte, you know, you got Queen Charlotte coming out from Shonda. Then the internet be internet.
Ah, yes, I saw this. Okay, so the internet went crazy, right? They started making memes about people who should definitely not play the role, just like the actress who's playing Queen Charlotte, this lady, and Queen Charlotte looked like this, apparently. People are coming out with memes about other fantastic people who should definitely not play the characters at all.
Muhammad Ali.
Mark Henry from the WWE or WWF as Snow White. That's also good. Well done. Fantastic. Queen Elizabeth, and it's a black lady. I don't know her. Who's playing Hitler? A black dude playing Hitler. These are great.
So immature.
These are great.
All of it.
This is literally what you're doing, though. Like, what this is having a black bear play a polar bear is literally what Netflix is doing right here. That's the great thing about the internet. They will take the piss out of things that need to have the piss taken out of them.
The Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI+ community safety zone to prohibit.
So the caption is, Canada's gone fully insane. Protect 2S LGBTQIA+ communities. Why has everyone got a flag, by the way? What do you need a flag for? How often do people use flags? Fuck off with your flags.
Within 100 meters of the property, any homophobic, transphobic act of intimidation, threat, offensive
Look at the
threats.
people that they, them has behind them. There's a drag queen up the back left. There's someone on mood stabilizers probably next to them. Then there's people still wearing masks. Jesus Christ. Why? And I'm not 100% sure what they're talking about exactly there, but they're talking about having an exclusion zone, a safe zone for particularly people who are part of the 2S LGBTQI+ community, which is the most ridiculous acronym of all time. Your flags, fuck your acronyms off as well. So they're talking about having that safety area. Now, it's good to be safe, sure. But do you need that? And should people be put in jail if they say something homophobic or offensive to us LGBTQIA+ people? And also, who defines what's offensive? That's retarded.
Could become stronger when there's more of us behind.
It's fucking old, mate. What's his name? Dylan Mahoney and this other prick.
Any relationship to the concept of girlhood?
I absolutely do. I find girlhood to be inspiring.
You're
There are a lot of human beings who are girls.
Wow, fucking earth-shattering news.
Who transcend what their gender is supposed to be.
God, why the obsession with gender? I've said this before. Who gives a fuck? Why are you so obsessed? Why do you spend your entire existence trying to define what your gender is? No one cares, all right? People only care, people only talk about it because you obsess over it. If you didn't obsess over it, no one would talk about it.
What do you think, people?
I think you got issues. Both of you.
Oh, we gotta do my signature. Okay. Okay, ready? Love ya!
Fuck off.
Wow. Is that real? Sometimes.
That is so inspiring. That is so incredible. They are able to break the weight barriers that are ingrained into this society and decide that they are just as worthy as are in.
What the fuck?
Love ya!
Fuck off.
Wow.
How do you obtain this?
Is that real? Sometimes.
That is so inspiring. That is so incredible. They are able to break the weight barriers that are ingrained into this society and decide that they are just as worthy as everybody else.
Right,
and you have to believe that they are beautiful.
Console.
That's what every single fat positive activist and model sounds like when you're talking about females, but if you look at a dude doing it, you know it's fucking gross, and it's just as fucking gross with chicks, all right? Gender has no boundaries when it comes to being fat fucks dancing around and looking gross. It was also posted on Steven Crowder's Twitter. He had some weird shit going on the other week. He was demanding that his wife wore gloves. Can anyone explain that to me in the comments? I'm not quite sure why.
So you want to hear my hot take on plus size travel and why I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on it?
I did a video on this lady last week. Go and check it out. She's demanding that basically if you get on a plane and you're plus size and you don't fit into one seat, that they give you a free second seat. That's ridiculous. But that's the type of extremely important content that we cover on this channel, okay? So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. I upload Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every week, and I tell you what, if you don't watch every single video, then I'm gonna fucking haunt you in your dreams, you fucking little shit. All right, watch the fucking videos, enjoy them, and let's move on. No, let's just in case you missed it, let's watch what she has. Yep, I'm 6'8". I don't fit in planes. Over it. Fucking buy extra stomach room, you fat fucks.
As a plus size traveler myself.
You're not a plus size traveler. You're not a traveler. You're a fat woman on a plane. That would be a great Samuel L. Jackson movie. Editor Gabe, make that movie poster now. I imagine it looks great.
We are not asking for special treatment or luxury accommodation.
Well, it certainly looks like you are, you fuck. You're definitely asking for that. That's exactly what you're asking for. Obviously. If you want to see more of that, go and check out that other video. This is what a stupid. Next.
Do you ever get dressed and just be like, damn, I look good?
You don't look good. You look like Brendan Fraser in The Whale. And that colour on you is awful. Plus, in the back of your room, possibly tracking whale migration patterns. It's a terrible look, babe. Don't ever do it again. All right, fat person eating. Okay.
Oh my God, stop. What are you doing? Eating a taco from Taco Bell.
Eating a taco. She's got a weird roll there. She's not even bending forward and she's got that middle roll. How did you do that?
You really shouldn't be eating that. I shouldn't fuel my body because why? It's just not good for your health. Okay, so what? You see all these other thin people eating the exact same thing I am, yet you're targeting me?
Okay, if I was walking down the street and I saw a homeless person drinking a bottle of wine at 9 o'clock in the morning, would I look at them exactly the same as I would look at someone who's just finished a week of work at a pub or something having a glass of wine on a Friday night? No, you'd look at them differently. And it is all because we look down on people who are gluttonous, like this lady right here. You're full of glutton and probably gluten. Put the fucking taco down.
Yeah, because they're thin. They don't need to be told anything. Oh, so I see. You're just fat phobic, and anytime a fat person is happy living, you don't want them to be.
Yes, correct. Okay, next video. Another fat one. Fat equals unhealthy.
But there is something clearly wrong with the woman on the right.
There's definitely something wrong with the woman on the right.
She can hardly fit in her freaking shoes.
So I need to
What? Is that real? How is this lady going to defend her?
Here's a point-by-point breakdown on why everything that creator said is not okay and wrong.
On the table is
to start,
for these,
you cannot determine someone's health just by how they look.
That is enough. That is all I need to hear. Let's just go to the tape. That's all that needs to be said.
And
all right? I'm not going to listen to your other arguments. You've failed miserably. Now, time for the final video.
I don't trust white people.
That's just fuck me.
I don't trust white people for a multitude of reasons, but one
That's racist.
of the main reasons is they're unpredictable.
It's racist to say that you don't trust white people, and it's racist to say they're unpredictable. Say it about any other race. Say it about any other race.
Like, I think about all the times where I really considered white people my friends, and then when we got in a small argument, they released all the racism they hid throughout our whole friendship.
Okay, if you're a black person, you're friends with a white person, and you have a small argument over, let's say, a parking spot, and they drop the N-word, sure, maybe they're a bit racist. But what type of racism do you mean?
Scary. And then I think about
You didn't even explain it. Okay, cool.
the fact that I become mutuals with people, give them the opportunity to come clean about any problematic past. They say nothing, and then they get exposed for being racist.
Problematic past, which can be anything from a tweet to a photo to fucking anything. All right, so if you find out that one of your friends has said something in their entire existence that you decree is racist, and remember, people like this lady with the bald head most likely think that everything is racist and offensive, then they can just cut you off and then complain about your entire race on TikTok, because that's how you fight racism, with racism. Well done.
And it's never like some low-key, like I used to say the N-word in songs. No, it's like N-word hard R against black people.
You're making friends with people who used to say the N-word with a hard R against black people, as in, like, they really dislike them when they're using that word? Then maybe you should choose your friends better, babe.
That's why white people are normalizing racist past.
Are they? Who's normalizing those? Let me ask you that. Who is normalizing those?
Plus the rate of hate crimes.
Have you ever looked at the rate of hate crimes? As far as, like, well, not even hate, like, crimes. Oh, I don't want to go into that. But more black people kill black people than white people kill black people. And more black people kill white people than white people kill black people. And more... It's not what you think it is, babe. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do something good, please. And make sure you grab the t-shirt as well. Cancel Isaac Butterfield, very good. And I tell you what, there'll be more videos next week, so stick the fuck around, mate. Why not? It's fucking not bad. And if you see a good TikTok, send it to the Buttsman on Instagram, at the Buttsman. Yes, very good. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Big stinks. Toodle au revoir. Bye-bye.
It's just kind of crazy. And about it. Okay. Okay, look, it's getting to be night. I'll probably just use one of the brewing stands that I have in that museum. Oh shit! Why would I do that? I'll just use the giant wooden stand that I have. Okay. I just need 2 strings. Oh shit, my world's like really lit up. Mob spawns are probably not gonna be all too high. Okay, I see a spider.
G'day, ladies and gentlemen. It is my favourite time of the week where we sit down and look at some of the most insane human beings that have ever lived in this week's instalment of Insane TikToks. Well, insane people on TikTok. Because it never ceases to amaze me. The type of absolutely interesting human beings that put their own lives on the internet for all of us to look at and go, well, thank the F word. My life isn't that bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is episode like 403 of Woke TikToks. Let's take a look.
Today I'm going to show you how to use candles pronouns in sentences. Candles pronouns are a form of neopronouns, and oh my goodness.
Candle. Okay, so there's pronouns, right? We all know what pronouns are. He, him, she, hers, they, them, theirs, these, hers, theirs, and then there's neopronouns, which I'll have to Google it. I've forgotten what it means. Neopronouns are a category of neologistic English third-person personal pronouns beyond he, she, they, one, and it. If you are considering that your life will be better with neopronouns, you need medication, mate. Oh, look at this. There's a New York Times article, A Guide to Neopronouns, and it's got an example of pre, prin, prims, and prim self. I don't even know what that means, but none of them are as insane as this.
Goodness, isn't that just so lovely? And please remember that these pronouns are very important to the people that want to hear and want to listen to how to use these in sentences. If you cannot handle this video, if you cannot handle watching it without sending some hate.
I'm not sending hate. You're calling yourself a candle. What does that even mean?
That would be lovely because it's just all about respect.
I will not I'm sorry.
It's not about understanding. It's not anything that's harmful. What's harmful is the bullying, and
Sure, it's not harmful. But don't you think, honestly, as far as bullying is concerned, that maybe you deserve a little bit if you refer to yourself as a candle?
I always say that. But yeah, I hope you understand. And here's how to use candles pronouns.
Fucking blow yourself out, you stupid fucking candle.
I think Candle should be very proud of Candle self.
What is this? Lesbians now white. Oh, Snow White. Lesbians are now white. Lesbian Snow White. Cool, babe. Slivers of TikTok coming through with the goods again. Oh, so she was bunging that on. So let's have a look at the signs in the background. Jesus was trans. Okay. I guess I'll Google that. Was Jesus trans? This will be interesting. This is from the National Review. It says Jesus was transgender. Oh, a Cambridge dean has claimed that... Let's go to this. This is from the Telegraph in the UK. Jesus could have been transgender, claims Cambridge dean. The dean of Trinity College said such a view was legitimate after a row over a sermon by a student that claimed Christ had a trans body. Fuck me. Okay, so what we've got going on here is a transgender rally, and everyone's just saying that Jesus was trans, and the reaction to Jesus being trans from this lady is this. I don't understand what happens. And this is from Libs of TikTok, as I said, a great Twitter page to follow. It says liberalism is a mental disorder. Hey, not all of them, but these ones in this video, sure. Fair enough. I've seen this podcast everywhere. These dudes sit down across for some ladies and they argue points. They have debates. They disagree. They agree. Some people have stormed out. Let's see where this one's going.
Said, Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay. Are you like,
Chase, how dare you be transphobic?
Okay, so the question was, would you rather have sex with the oldest woman in the world or a transgender woman? Now, I'm imagining that it depends who you ask this question to. If you ask this question to someone who is bi or has sex with transgender women, then they'd be sweet, right? Easy question. Or maybe they don't mind older ladies either. But anyway, the point is, the question depends on who you're asking. If you're asking a straight person, then they're probably going to say the old lady because they're not that interested in dicks. Now, I call trans women women, all right? I just think it's the polite thing to do. But if they have a dick, then I'm sorry. If you suck on that dick, then you are at least not super straight, all right? You're not really straight. Now, if your transgender female partner jerks off onto your face with their female penis, is that the straightest thing of all time? Probably not. So I understand where this dude's coming from. And he said it in a very, aggressive way. Like, no, because then I'd be gay. And I think this is why people have a problem with this guy, because he said it like being gay is a bad thing. Being gay is not a bad thing.
what the fuck do you mean? Because if I had sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man. And I don't want to do that. Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
It's not gay. It's not gay, though.
Yeah, I don't even shut the fuck up, actually.
Well, that is strange that you've walked out on that. I mean, he is right. Can you explain how you came to moon self? These are more neo-pronouns.
One of my exes, we don't talk about that. Anyway, no, but they use like cat neo-pronouns, and I was like, oh, those are so cute. Like, I kind of want like cool pronouns, like something that fits me.
Like, get a fucking job, mate. Get a fucking job. Go and get a fucking hobby. Do anything else that's not creating words for people to call you. Mate, how long have people been making fun of people who come up with their own nicknames? This is the same thing, just a little bit more fucking insane. You are not a moon. You are not a cat. You are not a fucking, what was the other one? A candle. You're definitely not a candle, all right?
I'm autistic, and one of my biggest special interests is...
I'm gonna call him...
Is it just me, or is everybody autistic now?
So Dark Oak Lark.
That's
Dark
weird,
Oak
because
and Acacia Bark
I don't think everyone is.
but
I think everyone's just chasing a diagnosis. Maybe you're just a little weird, and it's fine. You're allowed to be a little weird. Why do you need a diagnosis? Why do you need to call yourself a fucking moon? Okay, but the rest of that video, she's just fucking waffling on. Let's move on to the next one. That is ridiculous.
But I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I am fucking tired of TERFs making a mockery of real women.
Okay, TERF, that's an interesting one. Trans exclusionary radical feminist means that women are feminists, but they don't include biological men who are now women in that group. That's what a TERF is.
Oh, what? You were born with ovaries? You bleed every month? You have XX chromosomes? Yeah, that's cute. Tell me what other external factor that doesn't apply to all of you defines you. At the end of the day, you're out here thinking that trans women are making a mockery of you when it's the exact opposite. You are pretending that you know that you're a woman when the only people who...
The whole TERF and trans debate is weird, and like we've seen this recently in Australia where that Posey Parker came out, and I find it strange that people really hate her. I mean, I don't know everything she's ever said, but as far as the things she said about trans athletes competing in sports, I completely agree with that. I don't think they should. And I think just recently, I don't know if it was the athletics governing board across the world came out and said basically there will be no trans athletes competing against the biological athletes in their divisions. Now, and I think that's a great idea because it's just not fair. Simple as that. But isn't it strange that there just cannot be a debate? You have to either believe one side or the other. There's no in between. And I think this lady probably raises some very good points. Maybe the Posey Parker lady, she raises some very good points. The thing is, like, if we can just sit down and actually have conversations about this shit and not freak out and not have these big rallies turn out and everyone getting violent and angry like we saw in Australia and in New Zealand, we could probably get to the bottom of a lot of these conversations.
Who know that for sure are the ones who have put in the work to understand themselves. The trans women. You have put zero work into actually understanding.
So biological women don't understand themselves.
If you were only a woman, if everybody else around you looked at these same external factors that you look at.
Because you are a woman.
I say, hey,
fucking
and said, seems like woman behavior to me. And
or because you have tits, a vag, can have children, you have a period, you have the ability to have a period. Maybe you don't have a period, but you have the ability, you have all the things in place. You have XX chromosomes, you have this, that, the other, you got a uterus, you got a cervix, you got a... Yeah. That's a woman. I'm sorry to break your heart, love. That's a woman.
You went, all right, the only person making a mockery of womanhood is you because you do not fully understand what makes you a woman.
The people who understand what a woman really is are people who used to be men. Write that down.
Stop harassing
there's
trans
definitely
women.
going to be a lot.
Is questioning trans women harassing them? Can't we question things?
I don't even identify as a woman, and I'm more of a woman than you. It's okay to be scared of cishet men, but don't take it out on people who aren't even a fucking threat.
Well, that was confusing. Oh, this will be good. This is from the Instagram Dangerous Female. Stop giving men microphones. Listen, lady who is a comedian, fuck off, for starters. And if anyone should be avoiding microphones, it's females who claim to be comedians. Imagine going to a university or a college now. That would be fucking horrifying. I assume that was all over someone using the wrong pronouns. I mean, fuck, dude. I think you should use people's pronouns that they want just to be nice, but don't carry on like that if someone uses the wrong one, particularly if they really look like a dude and you say he, or they really look like a girl and you say she. I mean, I misgendered a baby recently and I felt bad. I said, isn't he cute? And it was a girl, but she was wearing gender neutral clothing. So that's the mother's fault. Fucking throw a fucking tutu on that baby or slap a fucking name tag on the bitch, all right? Otherwise, I got no idea.
It's always going to affect my life. I can't take off my skin color.
Hell yeah.
She's right, you can't.
Prejudices that exist against me.
It's this podcast again, whatever.
And that's why you can't be racist against a white person.
Pretty sure you can. Pretty sure you can be racist against any color. Can you be racist against Asian people? Then you can be racist against anyone.
But you are white, and me calling you white boy isn't exactly racist.
I mean, you are.
If you call someone white boy, it's a bit rude. I don't think it's racist.
Your skin color will never lead to the, premature murder of yourself.
Sure. But does yours? Is that the defining factor in whether or not you were prematurely murdered? No. I mean, sometimes in certain neighborhoods, maybe. It depends where you live, who you hang around. There's a lot of factors, not just your skin color.
There are more white men killed by police officers than women of any race combined.
I mean, then why aren't you mad? Why don't you hate police too?
Okay, so I guess this is a conversation about police, and they have impossible jobs. And the thing is, in America, a lot of shit goes wrong. Everyone's got guns. They don't know who has guns. People get shot because they think they have guns. It's a whole fucking shit fight. In Australia, it very, very rarely happens that the police kill someone. Maybe there's only like 10 a year or something like that, which, you may say that that's too many, but it depends what they did, right? I don't know. I don't think many cops are actually looking at people and looking down upon people because of their skin color. I just don't see it. Maybe some are real assholes, but I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Okay, so this is an actual kids show on Netflix.
That's because I'm non-binary, and Fred is the name that fits me best. And I also use they and them because calling me a she or a he doesn't feel right to me. I'm sorry I used the wrong name and
Hey, as someone who's about to have a baby, if that comes on the TV, I'm fucking throwing the TV out. That's fucking ridiculous. Right? Some people are trans, yes. Okay, some people feel happier being non-binary. Absolutely. And that's beautiful. But does it need to be taught to children? that a very, very, very small percentage of the population feel this way. Children would benefit more from being taught CPR at this age.
Biological men going into female prisons.
But they're no longer biological men.
They're no longer biological men. Okay, fine.
Women.
They're women.
Even if they haven't transitioned, they're still women.
They're still women.
Okay. Well, if you go to jail and some chick walks in with a big fat cock, let's see if you change your opinion.
Like, if they're transgender and they haven't transitioned medically, they're still women.
So would you have said in this instance, feelings trump facts? Would you have, if someone was to say to you, what about biology, and they play that card, would you have said, no, what matters is what someone's feeling rather than actual fact, like biological science?
Yeah, I think to some degree, because
we do see, unfortunately, people being sexually assaulted in female prisons by people who are biological men, and that's the end of that conversation. That's just the reality of it. But I understand that it is a complex issue because some trans women who look like women have had surgery, all that type of shit. If they were in a male prison, that would be dangerous to them. I get that. It's a tough discussion, but it's a discussion that must be had. All right, we've got one more. Let's just watch it. Let's see what happens.
What I eat in a day as a fat person who's not interested in weight loss.
I hate these videos because it encourages people not to lose weight and not to be healthier, and I'm just not about it. Sorry. You can have your opinion and you think you're doing a good job. That's mine. I think it's a shit message to push, and you can stick it up your ass if you don't like it. Like, just look at the hashtags. All bodies are good bodies. Body love, body positivity, fat is beautiful, fat positive, fat positivity, intuitive eating, food freedom, anti-diet culture. Shut the fuck up if you think you're not spreading a bad message. She had a piece of toast with some jam and some peanut butter on it. Maybe that's 400 calories plus. What else did she have? She had the French vanilla cold brew. That might have been, it depends on what the cold brew actually is. Might be 200 calories in there. She then had the kiwi. That might be another 125. So she's about at 1,000 at this point. I'd say the smoothie probably puts it at about 1,200 calories or so, thereabouts, right?
Cottage pie.
Cottage pie. So she's probably at like 2,000 calories for the day. That's it. She's probably at 2,000 calories for the day. That's actually not that much. But the problem is, if she, to maintain her current weight, or to maintain her healthy weight, she might only need to eat, to maintain it, 1,800 or 1,900 calories. If she's eating 2,000, she's going to slowly but surely put more weight on. That's why everyone eats in a calorie deficit to lose weight. If you don't know that by now, then too fucking bad. I just don't like the message that they push in those videos. You may disagree with me. That's fine. But this is spread throughout things like TikTok. Like, people are really spreading these messages. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought of today's video in this beautiful journey into woke TikTok. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you send me any videos that you come across to my Instagram, the Buttsman, and it'll be featured in the next video. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Medics, dings, toodle, au revoir. Bye-bye.
I thought I was going to be fishing forever, dude.
Twenty-two-year-old mum, Kelly Moyston, lives in Bristol with her 39-year-old fiancé, Steve, and their 18-month-old daughter, Georgina, in a tiny two-bed council maisonette. Although bus driver Steve works long shifts, he's expected to do all the housework, and she sleeps in most days till lunchtime.
I am lazy. I admit I'm lazy.
At least she's honest. Her husband wakes up at like 6 a.m. to go work a 12-hour shift, and she may be essentially abandoning her kid for 5 hours by waking up at 11 or 12, but at least she doesn't deny it, I guess.
I'm on the computer between 4 and 10 to 12 hours a day. But all round she's quite good when I'm on the computer. She knows that's mummy's corner, mummy's space.
George! Shut up, Georgina. Mommy's busy posting on Facebook. She says that as she smokes inside right next to her kid, which sounds like a give a child asthma. Welcome to Wife Swap, or sort of Wife Swap, because this girl isn't actually married. This episode features 22-year-old house fiancé Kelly Moyston and her 39-year-old partner Steve, who also have an 18-month-old daughter. Doing the math on that would mean they had to have gotten together at least 27 months prior, which means she was like 19 and he was 36. Creepy. Legal, but creepy. Anyway, in this episode, Kelly will be swapping houses with 37-year-old working wife Carrie, who is a hairdresser and really OCD about this couch.
When Kerry wants something, she gets it. She saved for 10 years to buy the sofa of her dreams.
I was told by the people I bought it off it must be fluffed every day. Therefore, following rules like I do, I fluff it every day.
It's later revealed that no one actually uses that couch, so it's like she spent money just so she could do more chores. Why would you spend so much effort on something that you don't use that takes up a lot of space? Anyway, Carrie lives with her husband Tim and his 16-year-old daughter from a prior relationship. Both of them seem to be workaholics, and their chief complaint is they don't really spend time together.
With Kerry's high standards, there's no downtime for her and her husband Tim, who's a building contractor. With their busy schedules, they hardly see each other.
We don't seem to get any time to slow down.
So yeah, Carrie has problems too, but they are nothing compared to this.
Such an intense schedule of shut-eye doesn't leave much time for meal planning.
We'd usually have nothing for breakfast, or just make do sort of thing. I'm the most terrible takeaway junkie I know. I get a takeaway because I'm too lazy to cook. Georgina does like her junk food, like her mum and dad. I think she picked junk over health.
I don't think Georgina really picks anything. She's a toddler. You have all the control here, and I find it kind of gross that you would brag about being lazy as you feed your kid French fries and other junk food.
My bedroom floor is my wardrobe. And Georgina's got a wardrobe in her bedroom where they just get chucked.
This family to be quite the find for Channel 4. You can see that there is trash everywhere, and they even got a shot of the cat eating out of a bag that was left on the floor. In this shot here, you can see that Kelly is so lazy that she didn't even put a cover over her mattress for what looks like a twin bed. But the most disturbing thing is just how shameless Kelly is about all this stuff. It's like she takes pride in nothing. That being said, check out this scene where they swap houses.
Whoa, they're like millionaires. Oh my god, it's perfect. Everything's so clean. And she irons as well. I just feel sorry, so sorry for the woman that's gone to live with Steve and Georgina.
Wow, how insulting to your partner. This house is so nice, it's perfect. I really feel sorry for the person who has to live in the shithole that I left for Steve. When you're a stay-at-home mom and your house is filthy, it reflects badly on your partner. Though I wouldn't officially call her a stay-at-home mom, that would imply that she actually does some kind of work. She's more like a welfare flunky who sort of babysits her kid when it's convenient. And her fiancé is a pushover, so he puts up with it.
I suppose I'm pretty much a pushover and I like an easy, quiet life. I'll do things her way because it's easier.
I wear the trousers in the house.
Yes.
I know it, Steve knows it, everybody knows it.
Not something to brag about. Not only are you signaling to other women that you aren't valuable enough to get a masculine man who will stand up to your bad behaviors, which makes you look bad, but you're also making him look bad by emasculating him in public. Major red flag. Never stick with a partner who constantly makes you look bad or shames you in public. Your reputation is super important, and you shouldn't be with someone who tarnishes it for laughs or as an attempt to make themselves look better. Well, speaking of volunteering for a show to make yourself look bad.
Oh, God. I just walked into my worst nightmare. This tab ends on side of sink. Oh, my God. What is living in there? It's not good.
I'm pretty sure cats don't like it when you put water next to the food. On that note, Kelly is one of those people who lets her cats on the countertops, as in the same cats that use a litter box that she never cleans, which means they have piss and crap all over their feet, and they're walking on the countertop where food goes. I don't know if it's YouTube friendly to show this, but they make a point of how dirty that litter box is multiple times during the episode. Speaking of being clean, Reed Street soap is one of the best smelling ways to keep yourself clean with the best possible ingredients. My current favorite soaps are the Arctic Waves, the Blue Collar Scrub, and this new flavor here. These high quality soaps also work really well as gifts for any occasion. Speaking of other great gift ideas, check out the candles. There are so many good options, and the best part is that they all smell great. I hate it when you go to the store and have to pick up like 9 candles that smell like hot garbage just to find one that smells half decent. The owner, Michelle, really works hard to make these items look good and smell great, and I've yet to smell a candle from Reed Street Soap that I didn't like. Not to mention that all the products from this company last a long time, so you get your money's worth. Check out Reed Street Soap by clicking on the first link in the description. Alright, after the wives/fiancés look at the house, they get this little notebook of house rules. Here's Carrie reading about Kelly's home.
I'm a stay-at-home mum and I don't really have any career ambitions or aspirations. In fact, I see myself as a bit lazy.
Honestly, based on how she treats her kid, I doubt she has any aspirations at all. She's not just lacking them for a career. Usually if someone's going to call themselves a stay-at-home mom, their aspiration is providing the best possible upbringing they can for their kids. Clearly, Kelly does not care about giving that to her daughter.
I get up when I want, which is usually between 11:30 and 1. So if she has a child at 18 months old and looks after her, how can she get up at 11:30 a.m.?
Wait, she wakes up at 1:30 p.m. and spends 12 hours a day on the computer? She's born to be a YouTuber. Jokes aside, well, sort of, the wives are required to stick to each other's exact routine. Now obviously this means that Kelly will have to stick to a harsh routine of actually doing chores and going to work. I did find it weird that she was able to cut vegetables somewhat properly, so she can do it, she just refuses to. But that's all played out and boring because all of us have probably already seen lazy people be forced to work hard on TV. So for my video, this section is going to largely be skipped. However, the fun part of this is that Carrie, the hardworking wife, is also required to follow Kelly's exact routine. That routine starts out with waking up at 12 p.m.
In Bristol, Kerry's discovering the joys of motherhood, Kelly style. The manual says she must stay in bed until at least lunchtime.
I'm not used to doing nothing, so actually having to leave and do nothing is killing me. And I'm just gobsmacked and can't believe that a person with an 18-month-old baby can still be in bed at this time.
That cat was all over that countertop in those first couple seconds of that clip. Wait, is that a bottom sheet covering the mattress? Carrie has already broken the rules because Kelly doesn't cover her mattress when she sleeps. Now, Carrie normally wakes up at 7:30 a.m., so this must be torture to have to sit up in bed for hours while an 18-month-old child is in the other room. Fortunately, during the show, there's probably a film crew looking after Georgina while Carrie just sits and stares at the wall. As someone who is also productive, having to sit down and do nothing for hours when there's work to be done would drive me insane. Honestly, if I were Carrie, I would be jumping to clean that house. However, during this part of the show, I believe she's actually not allowed to clean for 3 days or half the duration of her stay. She instead is required to follow Kelly's routine, which means when she wakes up, she gets to walk through that filthy house and sit on the computer for 6 hours.
Sticking to Kelly's routine, Kerry embarks on a 6-hour stint on the computer.
Kelly, in her head, is being a good mum because she's not working. See, she thinks she's spending time with her child, but where I see it is she's in the same room as her child, but she's not interacting with the child.
Actually, it's worse than that because while Kelly's in the room with her kid, she smokes and yells at her for disturbing her on the computer. I bet her daughter Georgina would be much better off in a separate room during these hours of the day. Not only does Carrie have to follow Kelly's routine, she also has to follow her diet, which includes feeding her kid junk food.
By 1:30, Kerry is struggling to stick to Kelly's manual, which says Georgina has crisps for breakfast.
Do you want some breakfast? Some real breakfast? But I'm going to give Georgina some cereal, so I am actually breaking. But it's not for me.
I appreciate the effort, but cereal is not healthy. The vast majority of cereal is sugary crap that is probably not much better for you than chips. Carrie also feeds Georgina one of those kids' yogurts. I can't see the ingredients, but stuff like Dannon yogurt for kids is not healthy either. The second ingredient is sugar. Not a good sign.
Kerry's broken the rules again to give Georgina a healthy breakfast, but she must stick to the prescription of cola and crisps.
She cringes at the Coke. I love that. I don't think that soda drinkers realize that if you get off sugar for a while and try to drink a Coke, it will actually taste gross. I used to drink soda a lot when I was younger, but now that my diet is healthier, I can barely stand it. Oh, and I forgot one thing. So not only does Kelly spend all day in bed and on the computer, but as soon as her fiancé Steve gets home, 4 nights a week, she spends hours at a karaoke bar. So Carrie has to go do that as well.
Kelly goes out up to 4 nights a week without Steve. Tonight, Kerry gets to indulge in Kelly's passion, karaoke.
Hi, Ooze.
Hi.
Oh, a bit of glam rock, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the karaoke.
I like how she spent all that time doing her hair just so she could put it into a ponytail. It would be less comical and I'd be less critical if she wasn't a hairdresser. That being said, it's safe to say that despite never meeting Kelly, Carrie has noticed that Kelly is incredibly lazy. Carrie's not the only one though. Back where she lives, her coworkers have also noticed how lazy Kelly is when she talks about her fiance.
So he's gone for 12 hours, and then he'll come home and do the housework. He's a good partner. But you feel guilty about it when his work. Not at all, because as he says, I look after the baby all day, and he comes home and he tidies up. So, and he says being a mother is one of the hardest jobs.
Does she really feel justified saying that being a mom is the hardest job in the world when she sits on the computer all day, goes out to party 4 times a week, and lets her husband do all the housework? Keep in mind, they don't exactly have the biggest place. It's a very small 2-bedroom home, and even in its disgusting state, most of it could be cleaned up in an afternoon. There's really no excuse for her to have 16 hours in a day and spend none of it cleaning. Now, there is the argument that Steve wants to provide the money and do the housework because that's his way of showing that he cares. And you could make the argument that if he is freely offering this stuff, then Kelly is not being abusive. It's just his preference. However, because there's a child involved and Kelly is using his charity as an excuse to not take care of her kid, Steve not requiring her to contribute is a problem. Carrie kind of rightfully points out that Kelly acts like this because Steve doesn't assert boundaries.
A woman needs a man. And if, like a child, if you haven't got boundaries, you will cross them constantly. So I think Kelly needs boundaries, and I think the only person can put Kelly's boundaries is Steve.
I would actually give him most of the blame for enabling his fiancée to treat his daughter like crap, especially considering that he is 17 years older than her. After this, the rules changed, and now the wives can set new rules for the house. Obviously, the first thing Carrie does is clean Kelly's disgusting home. Here are some screenshots of that. Outside of the extreme home makeover portion of this show, there isn't much interesting that goes on during Carrie's side of the rule change. However, when Kelly changes the rules, stops working, and forces everyone to eat TV dinners, Carrie's husband Tim is not such a pushover like Steve is.
At 9:30 the next morning, Tim's back on cleaning duty, but he's had enough.
But if people come to see me or Kelly and come to our home, and it looks in a shithole, they're going to think we're shithole kind of people. Kelly, you're getting up.
I think he spent way too little time vacuuming that room. Things get a little bit more heated when Kelly makes toast and refuses to make toast for anyone else but herself.
Because like I said, everybody's going to do things for themselves.
That's just selfish.
No, it's not selfish. I stated the fact everybody, if they want something done, they do it themselves.
Yeah, exactly, right? So why aren't you doing this yourself?
Because I said my rules were I refuse to do any cleaning.
Well, to be fair, even though that statement was extremely selfish, she did just spend 3 days cleaning that whole house. There can't be that much to do. I think it's largely just them two in that house, plus a dog, and sometimes a 16-year-old daughter. Because there are no young children, and I assume the 16-year-old cleans too, outside of pet hair, how much cleaning could there be? Actually, that makes her look worse because it means she's throwing a fit over like 5 minutes of washing a dish or two, or putting a little time into spreading butter over some toast for a guy who's doing chores for her.
Why should I always have to make other people feel happy? It's not always about other people. It's about yourself as well. And yeah, I suppose it can be selfish, but then that's just life, isn't it? You just think about yourself sometimes. I don't think about myself all the time.
We have yet to see an example of when you've not thought about yourself during this episode. In fact, I'm not the only one who noticed that. After this episode aired, people called child services on Kelly, and she got investigated for neglecting her child. Justice. But that's not all. Apparently her and Steve committed welfare fraud. I'm not an expert on how British welfare works, but Kelly told the government that she wasn't living with Steve so she can get nearly £10,000 of benefits, and being on Wife Swap revealed that she lied. What a stupid criminal. Why would you out yourself like that? Did she really want to be on TV that much? Here's the funny part. Allow me to remind everyone that people who go on these kinds of reality TV shows like Wife Swap or 90 Day Fiancé basically get paid nothing. I don't know if both of them got paid separately, but Kelly was paid £1,000 for doing the show and was fined £3,700 for welfare fraud and had to do 150 hours of community service. Steve was also fined £3,700, so they ended up losing £7,400 to make $1,000 to $2,000 from being on Wife Swap. And I know everyone wants to say poor Steve because look how she's taking advantage of him. But Steve was also complicit in this fraud. And don't forget that he was 36 when he got a girl pregnant who was basically fresh out of high school and obviously not ready to raise a child. You would think that a guy who is almost middle-aged would have more perspective. He also is basically allowing Kelly to abuse his child. He's the man in the relationship. Why isn't he telling her to put down the cigarettes, get off Facebook, and actually start interacting with her child? Not to mention that I did some math.
So I need to find out.
Works 12-hour shifts. He has a lot of days off. Full-time work in England is 35 hours, which means he has like 3 to 4 days off a week. And there's no way he's working lots of overtime or a second job because they argued in court that he's too poor to pay rent. Even if Kelly is super lazy and refuses to do any housework, he lives in a small home and could easily take a single day of his days off and make that place spotless. Proof of that is shown when Carrie essentially cleans the place in like 1 day after her rule change. I mean, they don't cook, so it's not like they're doing tons of dishes. The whole episode frames Kelly as lazy, but Steve is probably pretty lazy too. Anyway, not too much else happens. Kelly throws a cocktail party and has everyone sit all over Carrie's precious couch that I mentioned earlier. Then Carrie takes Kelly's daughter to a play place and says this.
She needs to expect interaction every day because she's a child. And it's important for her development. And the only reason Kelly isn't doing it is laziness. While I'm here, everything's great. But the minute I'm gone, the world will come crashing down around Georgina.
True. Also, whether your kids like you or not is going to be relative to how much quality time you spend with them. The more you neglect your kids, the more they won't like you. After this scene, Carrie makes cupcakes for Georgina and does a terrible job with the frosting. And last, they have a little round table where the wives give each other advice. During this talk, welfare dad Steve shockingly outshines everyone in fashion. Holy crap, I never would have guessed he knew how to dress. He just needs to grow his hair out a little bit like it was in this paparazzi mugshot from the criminal trial. The rest of this scene amounts to the wives giving each other advice that you would hear from an old buddy cop movie. Carrie tells Kelly that she needs to be more organized and structured, whereas Kelly tells Carrie to sit on her couch every so often, and they finish off with an all-laughing ending like a 1960s sitcom. Well, not really. The show actually ends like a horror film where they do a 6-week follow-up, and we find out that Kelly and Steve are having a second child. What the hell? You can't even take care of one child. Condoms cannot be this expensive. This episode plays out a lot like the opening scene of Idiocracy, where the responsible couple is too busy to have kids, while the degenerates have like 50 kids. It's literally that scene.
Having kids is such an important decision.
We're just waiting for the right time. It's not something you want to rush into.
I'd love to have kids with you, Kenny. You know I would.
But then do you know that I would intrude on mine and your time?
Shit, I'm pregnant again!
I got too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pill or some shit.
Hell no!
6 weeks later, and there are big changes for the Moyston family. They've been rehoused to a larger place because Kelly is pregnant.
So Kelly and Steve also managed to welfare fraud their way into a bigger house, but I imagine that they weren't able to keep it after the criminal charges were filed. Outside of that, apparently this episode went viral last year, and Carrie has a TikTok, so she posted some updates to her page. The episode aired in 2009, and it's been 14 years. Unfortunately, Carrie and her husband Tim got a divorce in 2018. Carrie still does keep in touch with Kelly and her daughters, but didn't say much about them on TikTok. Interesting enough, though, Carrie commented on the pay of the show and said that not only did they get paid nothing, but it actually costs money to be on Wife Swap because you have to give them a shopping budget of your own money. So now I question if Kelly was even paid the £1,000 like the Daily Mail said she was. It just baffles me that so many people do these reality TV shows for free, or basically no money. But I think situations like Kelly's kind of separate the bad people from the good people, or the smart from the stupid. Everyone makes mistakes. However, bad people continuously make the same mistakes over and over again, even when people are accurately able to tell them what they're doing wrong. Steve and Kelly have a baby, probably by mistake considering that Kelly doesn't want to be a mom, And the thing that sets them apart from good people is that they continue the behavior they know is wrong and make no effort to course correct.